I just sent her a text.
Okay,
We can go ahead and
we'll
get
go
started.
ahead and call the meeting to order on September 11th, 2025, 5:30. Laura, you want to do the pledge for us?
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Larry, gonna lead us in prayer.
Yeah, Father, we come today. Father, we just thank you for being in the among the living today, Lord. Lord, we just ask you to come to this meeting. Lord, we just come today just to do your will. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Roll call?
Ms. McWilliams,
Miss McWilliams just texted. She said she is out of town, and so we'll start with that.
Ms. Cranberry,
Present.
Mr. Patton,
Brother.
Mr. Smith,
Present.
Ms. Knowles,
Present.
Ms. Pepe.
Present.
All right.
Okay, approval of previous meetings minutes we have in front of us.
Make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
For the meeting minutes, for our meeting minutes. Hopefully that's not here.
It's being recorded. Patty will take care of the minutes, but Louis just won't be able to sign this, that it's been approved, so.
Okay.
If we can hold on to it till Louis gets back, or I'm with Philip, it would be next to Jackie to sign off on them.
And did everybody get your copy of the meeting minutes?
Did?
Read over it, approve it.
We already did that, we're voting now. All in
Motion we
favor?
approve the minutes.
Mr. Smith made the motion.
Who second? Miss Kathy? Miss Kathy
Miss
second.
Kathy made the second.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Minutes passed. Okay, it's over to you now.
All right. And we'll move on to unfinished business. Our review of unfinished business. Movie night at Gardena Park. That was a great night. We had good weather, good turnout, good popcorn, good movie.
It's time to upgrade our blow-up screen.
Yes.
Okay. They're $100 on Amazon. I don't know what our budget looks like, but it's time to upgrade it. It's got a big hole in the corner of it and a small hole in the top of it. But prior to that, the seams have been getting weak. Prior to the holes being there, and I got duct tape on them. They
Yeah.
just don't stick very good.
I took it over Monday night for the high school
Yeah.
use, and
It's bad.
it kept falling over.
It's
so.
bad. And like I said, they're about $100 on Amazon. We need to go ahead and make that because we used that for 10 years, guys. That has well paid for itself.
I'm glad you told me you took it to the hospital because I was like, oh, that screen's worse than ours when Alex told me it kept falling.
Yeah, that is nice.
It was that screen, okay.
Yeah, and everybody has used it. It has served this community well.
Yeah.
It was a great investment when Donna and them bought it because they used it at the chamber before it was ever a Parks and Rec screen. It was given to us. So, yeah, they're $100 on Amazon. We need to get another one.
No problem. I approved. I don't have to send that to Jackie and the commission. So Alicia, if you don't mind,
Okay.
give it back for
Yeah, we checked,
whatever y'all need.
yeah, budget and. get
The
that
other
approved.
issue that you were having prior to, that you were stressing
The
about,
cable.
how did you fix that and what do we need to do?
I have found out some information since that panic moment, okay?
Okay,
When I took over the event, the little cable that we used was a very important little cable because it was the only one we had. You get those all over the place now, okay?
okay.
Okay,
They
that's the
work on
one
a cell
that, that's the
phone.
one Mr. Jones was telling us we need to get.
But luckily we
Found it.
found it.
Yeah.
Had a backup.
Had to back up.
Okay,
Yeah, my daughter told me, you have one in your car. I went,
okay,
oh,
okay.
With these
sorry.
new cell phones, all the ends have switched to different ones.
yes.
So when you're hooking up to these older systems like
I have
that,
an old car and I have an old phone. Okay.
So those aux cords are pretty readily available
Yeah.
nowadays.
Yes, they
That's
are.
the issue we had. We were trying to get the we could get the movie to show, but we couldn't get the,
Yeah.
yes, the voice through there.
So we got that all resolved, and the movie
Yeah.
was excellent.
Good.
So I'll make sure it got put back where it needed to be put back in
In the back of the speaker.
the back of the thing.
Yeah, we won't
That's where
point
it
any
was.
fingers at why it got left
That's
out
where
of the
it should've
speaker.
Could have been, okay.
And
But-
we had a
Victoria,
wonderful time. and
Yeah.
all that.
Borrowed it
And
for
I
Water
did
Day.
too.
Yeah, we won't
It
point any
got
fingers.
left in the iPad, which was in my desk,
Okay.
and it didn't get put back in the speaker because she didn't use the system because they had like a Bluetooth speaker.
Uh-huh.
So she just hooked it up to the Bluetooth speaker because she didn't want to drag those big speakers out.
Now we know.
Oh, we knew that night. Because I called. I said, asking where I could get one. She goes, well, where's the one there? And I said, you don't know, you tell me. I think you was the last to use it.
All right. Is everybody good with that?
Mm-hmm.
Background checks for coaches. I got a phone call last week. Call asking about how we were going to do the backgrounds. If it was like, no felonies at all. If it was, so many years. There's a gentleman that wants to coach his daughter. I personally know him, and I know since he had his trouble probably almost 15 years ago. He has cleaned his life up. He has turned himself around, and he has not gotten in any more trouble since his time served. But just like several of the guys that have come to us about this, his felonies cannot be expunged.
See, I don't know what the answer to that is, and it's all got to do with the way our ordinance reads. And I guess we have two commissioners in our presence right now. That ends up being, I think, a change of policy, does it not?
As far as right now, our criteria for exclusion reads: for felonies, all felony violence, regardless of any amount of time since offense, including murder, manslaughter, aggravated assault, kidnapping, robbery, aggravated burglary, etc. All felony offenses other than violence or sex within the past 10 years from the date of conviction. So, drugs and any other, I'm not keen on what all is considered classified as a felony, but if you have not had any trouble from the date you were convicted 10 years ago, then you should be cleared to coach, according to this.
And that was done through the commissioners in the police department, because we have to, whatever that be changed, approval on that, we'll have to go through Michael Hay. And
Do
he
we
went-
have a copy of that?
and it should be in our records. Either I can try to get it from Michael, because
This
what
was
we
the only one we found in the book.
used was
for the-
what's the date on that one? Because that was the same year that I became commissioner, 2016.
It doesn't have a date on it.
May I interject?
Mm-hmm.
So I have our ordinance on the board. It's 2017-1009. This is the ordinance. So it is, of course, elected body put this in place. I think the paper you have is a supplement based off of this ordinance. We can go through it if you guys want to, but no decision. You can make a recommendation, and I have no opinion either way. If you want to make a recommendation to update the ordinance, it'd have to go through 2 readings from our board to update this. But this is basically just the ordinance of the charter, the leagues, and the code of ethics, and it talks about all that in here. It's about 3 pages. I can email it off to you.
Yeah,
guys.
that would have been, yeah, that's what I said. We worked with Michael Hay and done that because there was a big issue with the football team at that time. I think,
Top one.
no, me and you had got off then. Yeah, and because they was using the city facilities, and that's when the commissioners and the police department and all that came up with this. Because I knew it was right after I became commissioner.
When we were discussing this last year, wasn't somebody going to talk to the insurance company?
And yeah, and that was another thing too. It does affect your policy.
May I add to that as well? It's just exactly right. So we did contact public entity partners, and ultimately they said, you can do what you want to do, but your liability increases if you don't have like this in place and as far as coverage. It's not that they won't cover, it's
Right.
just that we're better covered with these type of policies in place. Or just policy, not this one in particular, but just policy. So just keep that in mind as my recommendation.
But I think that we've had enough people interested in it that we need to look at it. Because like I said, that was 2017, this is 2000 and,
I think this only continues to grow, or to, if we don't change it officially, to state how we really feel as a community,
right,
not just as a group of here. I have no kids playing baseball. I have no dog in this race. Okay. So whatever we decide to put as a policy in place for the years when we are no longer here, that it's not a problem for the future generations that have these similar issues. So, and who is it left to determine if this, I mean, because I know we know each other well in our community, but we're not going to know everybody who comes.
No.
You know, and who then is left to make that decision ultimately for the city? Because as a group of volunteers, I don't know that it's really up. Like I said, I don't have any kids playing baseball, so I don't know that I can make a decision based on something that's going to affect the city without y'all as commissioners telling me what is allowed. You know?
but Philip, I would recommend you sending it out to everybody that's on Park and Recreation Board, because the guy, if I'm not mistaken, and I need to talk to Michael, because I don't want to repeat something that's not true. And I am getting younger, so my mind is not as good as it used to be.
Right there with you.
But I think that the guidelines that we actually went by was that we pulled the counties, because we figured that would be our safest and legit way. But I mean, we've got a lot of people interested, and I'm willing to review it, and I think we just need to send a copy to everybody and see what happens.
I
see
think,
how
I
everybody's
think like
doing.
Alicia said also, Jackie, I mean, there's people who have changed their lives around
And that's
for
what I'm
whatever
saying.
reason.
Right,
We shouldn't let a piece of paper stand in the way
Of
of
them.
stuff that we know.
right.
So I think the piece of paper ends up being an issue, and I know everything's got to be legal because of the protection of people holding somebody else liable for what might happen.
Right.
You know, and that being said, just ma'am.
I just think that, my opinion, the board needs to put something in place. And if you want to run it by the commissioners or Michael, I think it starts with y'all, because you are the Park and Rec board. So put something in place and see if it goes, you know. But you gotta put something in place right now. You don't have anything for 7 years, 8 years,
Yeah.
10 years. You have no number out there.
Yeah, you have. Well, there is. You're exactly right.
So, you
It's
know.
pretty
like I
cut and
said,
dry,
you know,
yeah.
sex offense, you know, abuse against children. No, you don't want them around kids. But if it was a drug charge 10 years ago,
And so that information is provided to us from our police department, right? I mean, they're going to tell us, and so that's usually enough for me too. If somebody within that organization tells me they would be okay with them, then why should I have a problem with it? Once again, I have no kids playing baseball, so it's not going to affect my
you have a
children.
problem with it because you sit on the board to speak for the community.
That's right.
So you don't have kids in it, but you're speaking for the community.
That's right. And
So
as the
you
community
cover
as a
all of the
whole,
race.
that's right.
So
I agree. As a whole, I do. I speak for people with and without children, you know, who want to make sure that what we do is fair to all concerned. You know?
Well, in my line of work, we have to do background checks on foster parents.
I'm sure
And
you
we
do.
allow them after 7 years.
Well, see, that's a good policy.
Right.
And then what determination is it? Is it specific to one type of a scenario? Or is it just
No,
7
it's
years all
practically the
around?
same thing that
Okay.
she's talking about, child abuse, sex, all of that.
Yeah.
Anything that would balance towards another
Yeah.
person, another person, or a child. So we do fingerprints and all that, but 7 years, we go back 7 years, and then after that, I don't know what 10 years came from.
Okay.
Ridiculous. Because people do get out there and change their lives, and
Right.
somebody's got to give them a chance.
And there comes a time where these men and women that were young, dumb, and done some
Right.
stupid stuff,
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
got mixed in with the wrong people, went down the wrong path, got their stuff together, and are living a life that anybody sitting in this room, you know, would say, you know, could not, you know, they ought to be able to be there for their children. And whether that is 7 years, 10 years, you know, what have you, we need to set in place something
Yeah.
that says,
So then do you recommend that as a group then that we suggest to the commission or have it presented to the commission at next commission meeting that we update our existing ordinance to reflect this terminology, or?
I think we do.
Yeah, that's why I-
They'll say we have to do a recommendation.
Right, and
So
that's
we
why I'm
have to give a
saying,
recommendation to.
you need a copy of the original so that we can put in there why we're requesting it to be changed in our recommendations. And then, let's bring it forward, you gotta vote on all that and then take it to the commissioners.
Because I mean, there's some like upstanding members of our community that
agree.
put money back into these children that,
And some of the things that are in question right now, if we were in a different state, it wouldn't be an issue.
Exactly,
Okay.
and we don't want to hold someone back that's trying to better their life. But then, on the other hand, we don't want some parent over there at the baseball field come back and say, oh, they got this, that, and the other, and try to stuff a lawsuit on us either.
Which, in my time as Parks and Rec director, the hardest group of people I had to deal with were baseball parents.
Amen.
Okay, and I mean it with no
Football is fine.
disrespect, but they're
Baseball,
a
that's a
passionate
different
group of
conversation.
people who like what they like and don't want to care about what the other person likes or dislikes. And it was like, man, y'all please, it's a game. Your children are having fun. Y'all please just get along, you know?
yeah.
But there, you know, so yes, and protection of the city was always as a
Yes.
city employee, was my first concern. That's why the resolution is what I'm saying. If the recommendation then needs not to change our ordinance, but to amend it
But I was
to
going to say amend it and update it.
amend it and update it
Yeah.
to include terminology then that suggests that after a certain period of time, a nonviolent, non-sexually or youth-oriented violation would be subject to coaching opportunities.
Yes.
Something of that nature.
Something
That
of
what we're
that
looking
nature.
for?
I think that definitely needs to be updated in that ordinance. I really do.
You have to put the word felony in there because this is what this is all about. So is it going to be 7 years after your felony? They've already been tried, have a disposition, disposed of their crime and everything. So is it going to be 7 years?
7 years with no repeat offenses or no, you know.
No charges, no
no-
previous charges.
And no-
Philip, do you know what the time in there say?
I was looking for it, I took it off.
Could you email everybody up here a copy of that,
Yes, ma'am.
please?
Was that one you said what time? That one said, did it say 10 years?
I said I wasn't sure if it was 7 or 10.
I don't know the answer to that, but I can find it. And when you,
Because we wouldn't have to redo the whole ordinance. All we have to do is do an amendment
yeah, if it's
once we
take
find
two
out what the
readings,
what the time is in there.
we should have to amend it by 2 readings.
And in lieu of us doing this, if we have our recommendation together to give to the commission, the recommendation we make as a board to have someone coach in spite of the existing ordinance, is that something that we're being asked to do as well now? I mean, do you want us to recommend that somebody that we know personally that has not had any sense convictions or issues and has had a felony that is of so long ago that was not violent, be able to coach now until we can get this done? Is that something that we can do?
So I can't answer that question, but I can answer that question. We're doing about legal, and you guys can probably remember, if you violate your ordinance, therefore you have no ordinance.
Right.
So,
You have to wait
but
for it to pass, that's my opinion.
And I don't know
You
that.
have an ordinance decision like that.
I know this has been going on for years, you know, and I know, and we haven't gotten anything resolved in
Right,
years,
that's why
you know.
tonight, Y'all need to put some orders, you know.
So if that's what needs to occur so that the future generations don't continue to have this conversation. Very similar to chickens at the city commission meetings. Like at some point in time, we need to make some kind of rule
I'll tell you.
to fix this. Okay. So I agree. Then I think email it and then who's going to be responsible for putting this together to submit?
Well, I guess y'all need to go down through there and get your opinion on who wants 7 years, 10 years. agree with what you said, I think y'all do to do a vote on it.
Yeah, so do we,
Everybody agree with that.
so do you want to put that up for vote then, Alicia? Or would you like to vote that with 7 years with no,
No,
with no new convictions or issues after 7 years of a non-violent, non-sexually youth-oriented violation, that you should be allowed to have the opportunity to coach youth baseball or youth sports.
yeah.
Let's make it all-
Here, can we do that legally?
So what I would suggest is that we have your wishes and then we draft you something for a vote that you.
I mean, it's gonna have to go through the city attorney.
The one thing I'm trying to look at and figure out right now, when I send this to you, actually read some of this, because there's some things we're not doing, like an advisory committee to you guys. I don't know if we have one.
Dixie Youth was our advisory committee. The Dixie Youth
Yeah.
Board was when I first took over, I had my first meeting with them right before the season, when they made their request for things they wanted and things they needed help with. And they're the ones who would share with me about the Dixie Youth rules, because I didn't know.
So one thing I need to try to figure out too, what I read, because I found another ordinance related to in 2021, and it talks about the bylaws. So this ordinance is our governing law, but the bylaws may be where we have that in there with the felons and the felonies and those kind of offenses.
Because
So-
bylaws are a breathing agreement. Philip, you can change those over the time.
Right, so that may, let me dig into it a little more, and I will, but this ordinance may be the governing ordinance, but it refers to bylaws. You guys may be able to amend those bylaws without offending this ordinance, because it's a supplement to the ordinance.
That would be an easy fix.
But I apologize, I didn't really put a lot of, other than pull the first ordinance, I didn't put a lot of time into this. But
Yeah, a
that
lot
may
of play.
be, that may be an avenue as well,
Yeah.
the bylaws to the ordinance, you may be able to amend.
Okay.
But I will send you every ordinance related to
Okay.
what am I looking for?
Baseball,
Sports.
sports.
Yeah, sports.
That-
And then, we've been trying to find the bylaws that you guys approved, and Miss Lou Emma may would know,
She
may
may.
have a copy of them.
I think there's a book in the
In the office,
that the girls
well,
have in there that has.
it used to be the
all
office
the
over there
stuff.
where the,
That's where we found
where Mike,
in that.
Michael's at. I don't know where is that now.
I don't know if that helps the situation or not.
It may.
Whoever we're talking about that, I think a lot of people feel passionate that it makes it happen, but I don't think they can happen today. But maybe if we put it all together and bundle it for you for next rec meeting, that it may be, I don't call anything simple, but it may be as simple as a supplement to the ordinance, and you guys are setting those bylaws.
Okay.
Because
I know
she
that-
have a supplement that she was reading. What you,
I think
who
what
are you reading?
So I think what we do a lot of times, and I think this is the case here, when we create an ordinance or our elected body creates an ordinance and they're so detailed, we'll do applications or forms or things based off of that ordinance. So it's
Like
just
bullet points.
bullet points, but it all follows our ordinance. But what sprung my attention was when I was reading this and it talked about the bylaws. So that may be where everything that we're talking about.
Because that came through the baseball league and Miss Lou Eminem when she was on there. The other came later when there was a conflict with the football team practicing on the
City.
school property and stuff. And see, and another thing that we got to consider, even if we pass the fact that they can coach them, if they own school property, they still can't coach them there because that's county.
So let me give you an excerpt that I can read to you. I'm thinking of both ordinances. Whereas the city of Mount Pleasant has determined that it is necessary and reasonable to regulate the conduct of leagues affiliated with using Mount Pleasant Parks and Recreation Department facilities, including Mount Pleasant Public Schools property, Murray County Schools. Well, we can't really regulate that.
Yeah, we can't.
We can't regulate, and
We're not
that's the
regulating it
issue
now.
that we came up with before.
So,
Yeah, because when Pop
And
Warner
that's why they
practices on
start
school
practicing.
property now.
Yeah, that's why they start, right,
And that.
but
and
those have to go through the county background check, and that's why they start, they
See,
was,
there was a lot of coaches back when we were
yeah, they had
dealing
to
with
quit.
Pop Warner that were pretty
Actually,
active
yeah,
in that scene. that were dealing with our youth.
At the moment,
Some of
not
them,
10, 15 years ago.
yes,
Okay.
some of them,
And some of
had,
them were
you
given
know,
like
had,
child
had
support.
backgrounds and
Yeah,
cleaned
Some
themselves
of
up.
them were like
just
child
like now.
support charges that they had, and
but
they couldn't do it.
Some
I
of
mean,
them, like one
That's
gentleman,
why we ended up
he
doing
was
having to
involved
do
in the
that.
middle of a gang shooting
Yep.
while he was coaching one year. You know, it is,
That's what I'm saying, guys.
luckily it wasn't brought to the field where
Right.
the kids were.
And in-
But, you
I
know,
remember
in
that.
my-
at that time,
In my tenure, the community showed up to the commission to voice their desire to have this changed. And the commission at that time said they would not, you know, and it was kind of like, that's kind of where it's happened in Thomas's tenure. The same conversation came up before the commission. I was one, okay? And it hasn't changed from group to group to group yet. We haven't come up with anything that's any different than what everybody's been fighting against the whole time, you know?
But, and that's what I'm saying, when it came, we was on the same commission, when it brought it to us, the issue was, we couldn't change it because they were practicing on county school property.
Which we have no
Which
dog in
we have
it.
no control over, and their limited is 10 years without any charges. So if you got someplace else you can practice your kids, but then when they play at the high school, they still don't have any place to play unless you're gonna get your own independent field. And this is the issue we came up with the last two times that we had this brought to us.
Yeah. It's this, I guess
Well, all you
this,
can vote on is what the city can control. We can't control.
exactly.
the county.
So I said all that to say the ordinance needs attention.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. And that's been and that's why whenever they would come to Parks and Rec to complain, it's like, guys, I can't get this changed. There's 5 people on this table when I'm not here that can change it.
yeah.
And when they came as a community and said we need to change
Well,
it,
and-
it got
and-
dismissed.
And you know, Miss Lori, she deals with adoption, foster parenting. She deals with social
So does Willie.
services. Miss Willie too. And I feel like, you know, if they say 7 years and you can
Hey,
foster a kid,
I'm with y'all.
then why can't, if
I'm with
you've
y'all.
been 7 years, you can't coach your kid?
You tell me, and that's why, yeah,
And I'm in agreement with that. I'm in agreement with 5, less than that, because some of the charges, they're trying to clean their life up. But it's still the same thing. If we jump through hoops and mountains to change it, where they're gonna play at in Mount Pleasant? Because you still gotta follow county rules there.
Figure that out. All you can do is give what the city can give. Maybe they can go to the county and ask them to change theirs. All we can do is change what we can change.
So would this board like me to put together a proposal?
Yes, sir.
With all the facts that it can find?
please, sir, in your busy agenda and schedule that you have, if you would find
No,
some
I
time
mean, we got,
to
weeks.
look at this,
yeah,
you know, and because there is some issues with it.
yeah. Take me time to search all the ordinances and to look at, and find the bylaws and see if it's supplementing or what, and what avenue to go. Yes, ma'am, sorry.
I don't know, I think Ms. Jackie and I went through it when they changed their bylaws, ordinance. I think it was the planning commission board. Why can't the park board go through set a day aside and go through your ordinance and fix it?
Well, I
Or
mean,
change the wording or how it need to be?
We would have to do a call meeting, and that would put it off longer, because we would have to put it in paper and do a 30-day notice.
I'm just saying, he can't find the bylaws.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he
So,
can't,
but you
if
have
he
to go
can't
through
find it, we
first
can
and
do it.
second reading regardless,
But-
if you can't find the bylaws, and that way you can fix your ordinance up, and the next generation, it'll be fixed.
I think it's totally up to you guys how you want to proceed with it, but give me the time.
But what I'm saying, Willie, is if he email
Yes,
us,
sir.
sorry, Miss Allison, if he email us the paperwork where we can look at it and we can bring it and present it at the next meeting, that's gonna be as closer than putting it in the paper for 30 days for a special call meeting. You see what I'm
If you
saying?
got the bylaws, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, not really at this point anymore. I think the ordinance just needs to be looked at. I mean,
Yeah,
that
what
was a
we're
good
saying is we
idea.
can look at the
I
ordinance.
thought he said we did the ordinance, we have to do first and second reading, but
You
we
want
do
to?
the bylaws. I thought he said we didn't have to go through all the readings, we could just.
I
No, we
guess
do
it
it.
all just depends on if it's
What's in the
set
bylaws.
in the bylaws a certain way,
Yeah,
or if it's the commission that set it and not, it's
So I
not in
think
our
the
bylaws.
fact
no,
is that
if the Park and Recreation said if it's bylaws, it still gotta go before the commissioners.
So the fact is, we weren't prepared for this, and I'll
Right.
be the first one to say we weren't prepared for it. But I think, as you know, I'll hang my hat on every word and dissect it and have it right by the next one. And it'll be right as far as we get to the bylaws, it's the ordinance, and then whatever your wishes are. Maybe it stays with this board, maybe it doesn't. I wasn't prepared for all that. But I will be next month if you're okay with that and you want me to do that.
I mean, either way, it's
I'm
going to
fine
be,
with
that's what I'm saying, either way, it's going to be next month. If we have a call meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
It'll have to be next month, because we have to,
Yes, we have-
am I not right? If we have a call meeting, we have to have 30-day notice.
You put me on the spot, but I think it's 14 days.
14, okay, 14-day notice, okay.
But I think if you're okay with it, give me that time.
Yeah, I'm okay
to
with it.
put this
I
together.
think it needs to be something that we put to rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I know y'all can't put chickens to West Willie, and I'm sorry for y'all, but if we could put this
You don't put that.
coaching situation to rest, would be wonderful for the Parks Board.
But I think that's progress though, because.
I do think it's
in the
progress.
past, I mean, I don't know if we looked that deep, and we looked deep tonight, and we don't know all the facts. So let's look deep and let's get a proposal to you.
Thank you, Philip.
and go from there.
Well, we have to look deep into
And I'll do whatever
maybe
you need
one
me to do as far as
ordinance
like research
things
or
that we need to look.
whatever.
Well, I've run into that.
I'm sure you have.
Maybe we need to look at things.
One bite at a time, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's 6 o'clock, it's time for us to be doing. Can you walk, can you walk to us back?
So we'll move on from that.
For the lights to come back on, thank you. There you go, that's good.
Philip is
That's
gonna
good. Thank
dig
you.
deeper into that, get some more information, and we'll take that on the next meeting.
Okay.
The haunted trails. This is one of our biggest events. I have gotten sent out our invitations for businesses. This is our list. I've started to hear back, which is good.
I'm in.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 right at the moment.
I'm in. I got my costume already.
Yes. I've had several say that they were doing chili, which is awesome.
We're talking to people about cooking chili. I'm not going to cook any chili.
We had quite a few last year.
So I will be recruiting some cheerleaders for some volunteer hours. So any of you that are willing to come hand out candy, I still have leftover ice cream certificates from Easter. We'll hand those out too.
Are we going to do popcorn?
Popcorn, the seniors always do popcorn. So we'll get them situated over there. And then I need judges. So is anybody willing to judge this?
I really don't eat
Cooking
chili because it
contest.
has beans in it. I don't eat beans, so I'm
You
not.
don't eat beans?
No, so I'm not a candidate.
Well, you can taste all the ones without beans.
Okay.
I would sip all of the chilies, but I'm not going to eat the beans. in it.
It's a little bitty cup like that with a little bitty spoon.
I have
There's a big bean in there, Jay. There's a big
the
bean.
26th, October the 26th. I have Bill Walters, and the young man at the Mount Pleasant Nutrition.
Oh, I don't know. He's a nice guy.
And I've lost his
I
name.
can't think of his name right now.
But anyway, they're going to be tasters. I think they were part of it last year. So I would like to have about 5 or 6 judges just to kind of get
Too many. Don't have an even number.
yeah,
Have an odd number,
yeah,
but don't have too many. I think you'll be safe with 3.
3.
The barbecue contest that we did officially here for the barbecue fest is always 3. Isn't
I thought
it?
it was 5, so yeah.
Jackie?
No, I think it was 5. We
What's
always
it,
had 5.
It's 5.
Well, Philip, you've been a judge for barbecue fest. I have
You got me
too.
on, I'm starting up.
That was a good way to get out of it.
I did judge a couple of barbecue.
Yeah. How many
I think we
was
need
there?
5
Was
to
it
be
5 or
fair.
3?
I was just eating.
I just ate a Rio. Good, like a Rio.
You want to do it?
We see if we can't get a couple more businesses.
You'll get some. People want to do this. And I did hear somebody mention that it would be possible to do it maybe one year at Gardenia Park, the Haunted Trail.
Me and Alicia have some real big ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, they talk.
We were discussing a haunted house
Yes.
type
See,
trail up
Bill
there.
Walters and them will really get on board with this, and that
Yeah.
they asked to do something like this in the past, have a haunted.
Like actually have like a haunted woods or something
Yeah.
type thing up
It's a
there.
different scene
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah, that,
Wouldn't it be
we was
fun?
talking about it. That's a good place to
Yeah.
really scare
Yeah.
some little kids.
Except for over there by the dead horse.
No. They finally picked it up, y'all.
Yeah.
They finally got it because the buzzers was flying low and I was getting mad, and I called and they finally got it.
It happens, though, but that's because it's all that nice
No,
nature
but
up there.
let me see. Do you know what happened?
No.
They came up Gardenia Street and gonna drive across the park in a great big truck to pick up the horses on the other side of the fence. And I'm like, you can't do that. First of all, you're not going across my concrete and pavement like that. And you know, he looking at me like I'm crazy. I said, sir, I'm really not playing. You need to bag up, turn around, and go on their property to their dead horse and pick it up.
People just shock me all the time. I never cease to amaze at people.
Troy's wife. Yes, Alicia. Troy is Troy's wife. Troy Johnson. That used to be with the barbecue fest.
Uh-huh.
That's his wife, Jackie.
Oh, okay, okay.
You, Jackie, and you.
No, not that Jackie. I'm Jacqueline. She's Jackie.
Yes. I'm horrible with names. So
too.
thank you.
Look, that's just because I'm my first cousin. So I'm running on name. When that I would know the name.
Alicia, he said he didn't.
Oh,
He didn't.
okay.
Oh, you want me to give it? Okay.
I got candy yet?
Yeah. Huh.
Y'all got candy yet?
Yes. Miss Patty and Chief Hay went into Sam's and got our candy.
Good.
So they have it in the office in there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Special reports from other city departments.
I think we've already talked about all week.
I know I can't fix it tonight. I'm there.
His brain is like churning.
There's no other city
All right,
department.
and
Wait a minute, no, I do have one.
new business.
The baseball field is the gravel that we dumped over there right there in the middle is sinking, and they're requesting another truckload of gravel. I don't know where we got it from or the price, but I did tell them I would bring it to you. They asked me to do that last night. And you know, like whether they poured all them gravel, it's like
So they're requesting more gravel.
another truckload of gravel for the parking lot, not for the
The
field.
road that goes to the road that goes between the two parks.
Mhm.
I mean, until we do something more than just gravel on that driveway.
Yeah. It's
But that's
all-
what I
We're
asked. I
just
asked them, I
patching.
said, what about crush run? Because, you know, it gets hard. And they was like, well, you know, they already got gravel over
We
there.
put pressure run in it. Whenever I was there last, the money that Cedric gave us from Dixie Youth, right after he gave me the money, I called McCandless and they came out and brought me crusher
I think
run.
that's what they used the last time.
Yeah.
Well, I asked Cedric about crush run, and he said it was gravel. Because I said, well, I'll take it to him. But me personally, I think crush run would be better because it's not going to wash away like it's going to, you know, set some.
It'll wash away.
It's
Well, yeah, I mean, it'll wash away, but it won't wash away as quick as the gravel will. And plus,
I hear lately it wasn't heck. We ain't had no rain.
What was the request in Barker Burfield?
Yeah, it's at Barker Burfield. The driveway
We'll send
between.
it down to utilities and streets and have them look at it. And
Okay,
we may
thank you.
have- We may have some in stock.
okay, I'll report that back to them. Thank you.
Yeah, tomorrow. Check with them.
What?
You check with them tomorrow. Check on it.
Check with the street department on
Yeah.
about so they got any gravel.
Y'all speak up, please. I
will.
cannot hear.
I will. I'll talk loud to you, Alicia.
So we'll check with them. Okay. All right. Our annual craft day. Bedford started this and it's become a big hit. Every year it seems to grow. We seem to get more and more kids there with their families making ornaments, and it is like one of the best days. These kids come in and they have a ball. Just set up stations for them to make these little,
Knick-knack crafts.
it doesn't matter if it's styrofoam, if it's paint, if it's popsicle sticks.
We just painted rocks.
Yeah. Like these kids come in and they have a blast. So if you have any ideas for Christmas crafts, if you have any supplies that you would like to donate, I know Miss Stacy from the Bass team has donated something every year. Luma last year bought a bunch of the
Balls.
plastic ornament balls for the kids to like pour paint in and shake up. Like that, the kids love that.
Because it's messy.
And then just, anything like that. The kids enjoy.
What day are we planning on
That's what
doing
I
this?
was gonna ask, what day are we looking at?
November the 16th.
If I can gather up some stuff. And it's always nice if you have a volunteer at each table to help keep
Yeah.
the children under control.
Especially the glue gun table.
Glue gun table is important.
I did that once, I'm not doing that one again.
And make sure you have good eyeballs if you're at the bead station.
The bead station is the worst.
The what?
The bead station.
Yeah.
I can't, that's, my hand's too big and I can't see good.
Beads and glue.
Beads and glue.
Don't do.
Don't do
Your mom
that.
did wonderful with those kids and those beads last
did?
Yeah.
year. She was spelling out all their names for them.
Yeah.
She had a
Who
ton
did
of
that?
patience.
Who was it?
Her mom.
Oh, my
yeah.
mom, yeah.
Bring mom back.
Yeah. She'll be there if I need her. And breakfast with Santa. Last year was our first go at this. And let me tell you, the
Somebody
kids
had a
that
crowd.
showed up, we went through a ton of pancakes. And I expect no less than what we had last year. It was very busy, so I could use a cook. We had David and Ted from the street departments, Bass team, cooking back there.
What date are we doing this?
That
Do you have a
is
grill or a pancake maker?
December
The griddle?
December
Oh, I
the
can't do that.
21st.
No, what day?
On a Saturday,
December 21st.
December 21st.
Jason.
And right now I'm still don't have a Santa. So we gotta find one of those.
But we do have a Santa suit, right?
Mm-mm.
We don't have a
That
Santa
I
suit.
know of.
Not that I know of. We had
So we need a
a
Santa with-
bunny suit.
We need a Santa.
We have bunny suits,
We have
but no
bunny
Santa
suit.
suit.
Okay, maybe that's what it was.
I got two bunny suits.
Check with, I think Chief Stewart, Dad,
Yeah,
the,
I'll call
Gary.
him. He's done it before. He's
Okay.
done some work with us before for Santa. So
Who? Todd Stewart said?
Todd Stewart's
Yeah,
dad.
he makes a good Santa. He got a
If
food.
he can't, I'll check with the gentleman that David used to work with at VLS. He was our Santa last year for this event,
Okay.
so he may be able to come in and do it.
Okay. I'll have to look at it. It's a little far for me to commit to you to December 21st right yet. But let me
Did you have it that late in December last year?
I think we had it towards the 1st of December last
When it
year.
comes to the Christmas parade, or was it
no,
not?
Christmas parade's 1st of December.
But I think we had the pancake breakfast close to that too.
I
Did
don't
we
know.
not?
I think it was like the second week, or I don't know.
I think the Christmas parade was one weekend and then the pancake breakfast was the
Yeah.
next weekend.
I
I
know.
think that's the way it fell.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can get people to show up on the 21st to help out, I had no problem with the date. The only problem that I might have with the 21st is I don't know if Mila's flying in, if I have to be at the airport. I don't know yet. Yeah. She ain't
That'll
got
be
back to
fine.
school yet.
Which I can try to recruit the Bass team again.
Mm-hmm.
They always like doing community service hours.
Yeah, I know that there's plenty of guys within our community that'll come and
Yeah.
help out. I have no doubt.
So,
They cook some mean fish.
any general comments from citizens?
Only
Miss Willie?
I was asked to bring a comment about a potential future event that might take place at the community center about pickleball. I know we have a pickleball set. It's some adults that play pickleball, and they used to play on the high school tennis court that's no longer available because they've redone it. They keep it locked now. So, and I had told them that I had a pickleball set up at the center at one time. I think we still have it. They have their own pickleball set as well, and said that, you know, sometimes on Wednesday nights the center might be available. How do we feel as a group letting somebody from the city have access to the building to let people play pickleball, like I did the Old Man Basketball League for a little while? I mean, as long as I was there, you know, but and I can't expect you to be there to play pickleball because I was playing basketball. You
Right.
know? But if somebody else from the city was there playing pickleball,
The only thing is, Boys and Girls Club would have to clear out their stuff every Wednesday night.
but, I mean, what's the stuff look like in there? I mean, because the
They-
people that would,
They've got TVs, tables, couches,
They have a chill corner.
desks. They have it
Every
like
corner. They have
corner,
different
like,
corners that they
so
area.
the center of the floor would still be available. Huh? I mean, I don't know that these people would disrupt the Boy Scout stuff, the Boys and Girls Club stuff.
Yeah, the center of the floor is available.
You know, I just, you know, told them I would ask.
I mean, I don't have a problem with that as long as there's nothing else going on in there.
Because they put the ping pong table and stuff back up, don't they? Every day, or is it left out? Because I know it's a ping pong table in
Yeah,
But it's not, well, it went in the center of the floor when I went over there. I don't
there.
know.
Okay.
man.
They
I
may
said it
put
went
it-
in the center of the floor today that I came over there, but I didn't even notice.
She's talking about the ping pong table.
The we have a ping pong table. It's the big wooden table.
But it's in the other room,
the
ain't it?
other room.
Yeah, it's in the other room.
Yeah,
It's
we
back
just
there
take
in
the net
small
down.
room.
I mean, I think it's a valid request. I think our model now is if you want to rent the center, it's available for rent. If you're a nonprofit 501c, you can have community events. They have to look into it, but
Hey, the Old Man Basketball thing we started was, it started off and I had said it was over 50 and only one person showed up. So we changed it to 30.
so
and
it's a pickleball being open to the public or something.
it's somebody that works for the city that they play pickleball. And they're becoming a big fan of pickleball and they like to play it and they're wanting to know if they can use the center if it was not occupied. And the problem was, if you're other people, I didn't mind doing it whenever I was there. You know, so
Miss
that's what I'm
Graham,
asking.
she has approached me about it, and she mentioned the mayor.
I mean, so the people that are asking to do it, I wouldn't say that we would tell them no, you know. So I'm just bringing it up. Is that something that we might want to do?
If there's something going on in the center, I'll tell them no.
Yeah. And exactly. Yeah, so I was saying me, I don't want to tell them no. I don't know
But
what's
I
going
mean,
on.
I don't have an issue with them coming in to play pickleball as long as it's open to the public.
I will share that with them.
I mean,
I mean, I'm not black and white, but I am. You know, if it's a private event and they want to rent it, they can rent it. If it's a 501c, we allow those organizations to come in there. I'm kind of like Alicia. If it's something that's open to the public and it's a benefit
like
to the
just
public,
like the spin bikes, those are free to everybody to use. If you
Yeah.
want to use them, come see me. I'll let
And,
you in.
and when we changed the age restrictions for basketball to out of school, because we had to have enough people to make it fun to play,
Right.
we had a lot of people show up. And Wednesday nights we would do it 4-on-4, and
I
the
mean,
winner
that's just
stand.
like the cornhole
Yes.
stuff that y'all did there for a little while.
Yeah.
It was open to everybody, right?
And so it was open to everybody. So if you open the building, you really can't tell somebody that shows up no that. And I don't know that you would.
yeah, so
I would
just like
think you would hope more people would want to come play with you.
Lifestyles for the public, and there's an event
Yeah.
that if you want to play pickleball or learn, that's what it sounds like to me. That would be that just
So if I share that with them, then they would have to be willing then to, like I was with basketball, to allow other people to come in and be a part. You couldn't restrict it to just you and your friends.
No, because then that would be,
they would need to rent it. Then
You have to
Yeah.
rent it if you want it private.
Just
that's
like
how I look at it, and it may not be right, but that's, you know, we can look at that a little further too.
Oh,
Then they
look,
can have.
I mean, they asked if we could paint a
Y'all
court
agree with
on the,
I recommended painter's tape because that's what I use for the pickleball floor because you can take it up when you leave. It don't stick to the floor. Painter's tape, you make your little squares with it on the corners. I use painter's tape for pickleball, and at the end of the day, I would just pull it up. It comes right off.
Yeah. because the way Miss Graham presented to me, they were wanting to.
Day, right? 'Cause you got the boys and the
pretty
Boy
scheduled.
Scouts in there.
That's why I told them the only day that was really available is Wednesday nights. That's because it's church night around here. Ain't nobody's really using the building on Wednesday nights. So
Yeah.
if you want to use it, that's why I have family fun night. I open
Like,
it
I
up to
have,
the
I
hall.
have everybody listed like that.
Church
It's
on
the
Wednesday
day
nights.
we use.
So it'd be
Or
from
in
6
so
to
what we'll
9.
do,
I would
like,
volunteer my
our Boy
time to
Scouts
open the
on
building, let
Monday,
the community come and
Girl
play.
Scouts are on Tuesday,
Whatever.
Boy Scouts Sunday,
That's
regional
the thing, we
meetings are
got
on
that pretty
Thursday.
well.
So if someone from the city is willing to volunteer their time to let other people come and play
On schedule,
As long as you don't.
on a schedule,
yeah, open to the public.
I'll look to the public.
I mean, it's promoting health and fitness, right?
That's right.
Well, can we do a schedule if someone wants to rent it out on that night?
Right, so if it's already available, if it's already been rented, it's been rented. It's not
Well,
available.
that was the way it was with basketball. For the sake of being able to make money for the building, then all free activities kind of get pushed aside.
Right,
You know what I
right,
mean?
that's what I'm saying.
That's the way it was always
They could
with
have it
me. I
unless
mean,
somebody else has
I'm making
requested
money
the building for that
tonight
night.
to help improve this building and pay for the things that we need. So no free activities tonight because somebody's willing to pay me to use it tonight. You know? Agree?
Alicia, I have one more thing before we close
It'd
out.
be like when this,
Spin bikes.
yeah. Just announce it. Hey, pickleball at community.
And at the same time,
Wednesday
I
night
mean,
from 6 to.
if you didn't mind,
whatever.
sir, why you were letting people play
But what
pickleball,
we're saying,
you ought to
if
open the
somebody
spin
decides
room
they won't have an
and turn on
event
Spin
on that
TV,
day,
let them
they're not
spin
gonna
if
have
they
it.
wanted
They would
to.
have to cancel. Right.
For some evening spin classes, if you could be there. You know, I mean, if you're going to be there, you
I think that's the appropriate action.
I think
for
so.
that question, yeah.
and that's how I will address it with them whenever I will have this conversation.
Alicia, it has been a request that, and I don't know if it goes through here, if I have to, if it goes through the commissioners. I'm sorry, we're trying to write down pickleball. That, Willoughby Baker's Shelter did not have an official date for the community, like we're trying to get a date for the one up on the hill, and they wanted to get a date for that. Because it was done during COVID.
Talk about Arrow Mine,
Not the park,
the
the
pavilion.
dedication of the pavilion.
Yes.
Because it was never done because of COVID.
So they want to have a rededication of the
It was
shelter?
never a dedication.
Oh, okay.
That
Because
was
of
done by
co-
the Civitan Club.
Yeah,
though.
that.
But the Silverton done their name on the shelter.
They pay for the shelter.
No, they didn't pay for it. They helped raise funds.
Right.
Everybody contributed.
Right. But the dedication, the Silverton didn't do a dedication. Or at least that's what I've been told by the community. So,
Would it be appropriate, once we build the bathroom to do, maybe?
To do it all that way?
Well, I'm just, I don't know if we need to do something quicker or, but
when are we planning? When did we decide the bathrooms? When were we? I thought we was trying to get them done ASAP too.
yes, ma'am, and that's, I am no government. So we gotta get the plans done.
Where
so we
they
can
go
get
for
it out.
bathrooms over there?
That's what we were just talking about. I mean,
That's what we're talking
Hey,
about
I've been
now.
looking
He
since
said
July
we're gonna
1st, we took over, that was one of the first priorities.
I mean, but where? Because it's all flood zone.
right
you have to
next
put
to
it
the
up
shelter.
up to the top with you.
So when I present the plan to you guys for approval to the commission, I would have a special design. So right off of, from the shelter, ADA sidewalk, and we're working with our wastewater engineers to hit the sewer that comes right through the park. So we're going through all that now, and then the construction plans too. Got to get those done.
Okay.
So,
I thought that's
but
what
it can
we
be in
talked
the
about.
park, be closed on.
Who's I mean, I don't know, is it still, trying to think of what his name is, goes to the senior, Mr. Brooks, is he still over the Civitan group? Do we know that?
Yes,
Vernon Brooks?
yes.
So-
That's the information.
I think then I think he talks to Diane at the center pretty regular or fairly often. Might try to get with Vernon and see if the Civitans, I mean, because I don't think we need to wait for the bathrooms to have the Willie Baker
Dedication.
because I think the Civitans need to be a part of that as well. I mean,
Right.
they helped raise the money for the pavilion, like you said. So get with Vernon maybe and see if we can schedule something, and then announce it that we're going to have it.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yes, we want to be nice to them because they want the lighted board over at the community center with the lights on it, and they may be ending up putting that over there. So the readout board,
Reader
like,
board.
yeah, they want to put the readout board
The Civitan Club?
at the community center so that they know that all the events because
We've been asking for that for a long
lot
time,
of the
guys.
events in Mount Pleasant does not get noticed, and
Has
they
something
had
to do
came
with
and asked
being in a
about that.
residential area reader board, the same way with the reader board at the church over here that they have that streams. They're just so far into what was considered, I think, a commercial zoning that it's allowed. But whenever I asked to put the reader board at the community center, I guess because it's considered a residential neighborhood, I was told no by codes or zoning or whatever it was, that it couldn't be there.
Well, when he came up and had a meeting,
couldn't
that was with
slash or
Kate, the
whatever it
mayor and
had to.
I and stuff, they said that we would check into it, and they didn't say anything about it being a code thing.
Because I
they
got
don't
a
have to
free one
find
from
out.
Miss B that time, and of course it wasn't a very good one, but it said over at the, it said in front of Smalls or the liquor store there for a while, and she gave it to me, and Britt and I were going to try to fix it up. We weren't going to have electricity to it or anything, but it was going to be able where you could put letters on it and you could roll it back and forth out there to announce stuff like dances and
Oh, yeah, I remember
activities
that
we're
she
doing.
had, uh-huh.
Yeah.
You talking about that portable one?
Yeah, and it ain't no good. It was rotten. Yeah, so, but it was something about having a flashing or strolling lights over there at the community center, because we had asked during Thomas's tenure even about getting that. It had something to do with codes or zoning.
Oh, okay, but I'm gonna have to check on that, because that was a neighborhood thing that went to them because of the fact that
Check on that.
everybody don't get the announcements of what's going on with parks.
I think it's beautiful. I mean, because we have no other, and that, what a better place, because everybody that has a child in school
And that's what
goes
they
through
said.
there.
Area.
It's heavily trafficked. That's why
That's
they
what
put
they
the instant ticket writers right there, because they know it would be a gold mine. There's a lot of people go through there. You know?
I mean, even if it was one that you had to put the letters on like they have at the school.
Yes.
Well, they may agree to that, but I mean,
That's
their
what we gave them.
complaint is when something's going on at the community center or somewhere, they don't know until it's going on.
That's right. I
And
hear that all the time.
they said the community center was there for the community, and they felt like the public needs to know.
But you could put
what's
city
going on
announcements there
ahead of
too,
time.
which would be beneficial to people.
Yeah.
I mean, we have no way to communicate within our community. You know, what a wonderful opportunity to share pertinent city events by having some kind of reader board there.
So good thoughts. I don't know the answers to any of that, but I wrote it down and
Yeah.
let you know.
The lights don't have to be flashing. It could be just a run-on
That's what we thought too.
banner.
Just, I get with Chris, well, if there were zoning tags and all that.
Yeah.
Definitely something to check into.
Yeah, I think it's a great location for it, and like I said, it had something to do with it being in a residential area.
Well, I was gonna ask, but it's also in the school zone, and the schools at the other place has it on their board, so what would
I
be the
just didn't say
difference?
that. I mean, just look around the area.
Yeah,
So what we're saying.
Historic
that
zoning
the-
also makes issues, I know, so I don't know what issues it would make, Philip, but I know that sometimes,
Can't answer those questions, but if you look around, it's probably,
get to the bank.
okay, if we have nothing else, I'll take a motion to dismiss.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
Thank
Go home,
you.
guys.